Imagine standing on a battlefield in 1775, gripping a heavy flintlock musket that might not even fire if the air is too damp. Now jump forward less than a century, to 1863, where soldiers are firing accurate rifles and even early repeating guns in just under 100 years. America, American warfare underwent a transformation so dramatic that it reshaped how battles were fought and how the nation developed. Today, I want to walk you through how U.S. weapons evolved from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War, and why these changes mattered, not just for the battlefield, but for America's growth as an industrial power. During the American Revolutionary War, the standard weapon was the smoothbore flintlock musket. It was large, heavy, and incredibly inaccurate. So inaccurate that soldiers had to stand in a long, tight lines and fire in volleys just to hit anything. A skilled soldier could fire only about 3 shots per minute, and rainy weather could stop a flintlock from firing altogether. Some frontiersmen carried long rifles, the early Pennsylvania or the Kentucky rifles, which were far more accurate because of their rifled barrels. However, they took much longer to reload, which made them impractical for large army formations. Because of this, commanders relied on traditional European tactics: linear formations, bayonet charges, and discipline over precision. Warfare was slow, rigid, and built around the limitations of the weapons themselves. Between the Revolution and the Civil War, America began experimenting with new technologies that paved the way for modern weapons. A major improvement was the percussion cap, which replaced the unreliable flintlock system. This made firing faster, easier, and much more dependable in bad weather. Another important milestone was the development of breech-loading rifles, such as the M1819 Hall rifle. Loading from the back of the barrel instead of the muzzle increased fire speed and safety. Meanwhile, American armories like Springfield and Harper's Ferry began using interchangeable parts and improved metalworking, creating weapons that were more uniform, durable, and easier to repair. Yet despite these advancements, military tactics were slow to change. Many officers still trained with old European ideas and were hesitant to adopt faster firing weapons, worrying that soldiers would waste ammunition. Still, the stage was set for a major leap forward. By the start of the Civil War in 1861, firearms had entered a new era. Most soldiers now carried rifled muskets, such as the Springfield model 1861, firing a conical bullet called the Minnie ball. These rifles could accurately hit targets several hundred yards away, a massive improvement over the 80-yard effectiveness of the old smoothbores. Because of this, traditional infantry charges became far deadlier than commanders expected. Even more revolutionary were repeating rifles, like the Spencer and Henry rifles, which allowed soldiers to fire multiple rounds before reloading. While not fully adopted across the Army due to cost and supply challenges, these weapons showed that the future of warfare would look like. And firearms weren't the only thing changing. Artillery became more powerful too, with rifled cannons and explosive shells. The famous clash between the ironclad ships USS Monitor and CSS Virginia signaled the end of wooden navies. Railroads and factories supported armies on a scale never seen before. Warfare had officially entered the industrial age. In conclusion, in less than a century, the United States moved from handcrafted, unreliable flintlocks to factory-produced rifles capable of deadly accuracy and rapid fire. This shift didn't just change battles, it changed strategy, industry, and even the nation's identity. The evolution of weapons from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War shows how technological progress can reshape the way wars are fought and push a country toward modernization. Understanding this transformation helps us appreciate how deeply technology and conflict are intertwined, and how the rise of industrial warfare in the 19th century set the stage for the modern world we know today.